How's everyone doing? Let's give it a few minutes for everyone to get in here. Do some charting together. Interested to see what kind of how many people we get here today. It's 11 o'clock. Usually do it at 8 p.m. Any recommendations for brokers outside of the US? I'm not sure. I'm not outside. Maybe someone in the comments can give a suggestion. If anyone has any brokers who are good for outside of the US, drop a comment. What's up, Chris? Joe, how you doing? What is everyone looking at this week? What's up, Mohammed? What's up, Rusty? T212 seems like a common one, like Weeble. What's up, everyone? Brad, how you doing? RG, what's going on? Yeah, there is a video on how to set up the dashboard in the market resources section. All right, so a much smaller turnout today. It's a Sunday morning, so kind of figured. But people can always go back and rewatch. SPX is tradable. What's up, Jose? How you doing? You had a scheduled one-on-one with me. Send me on Friday. Send me a DM on Twitter. Maybe I just didn't get the notification. I didn't have anything. I didn't have anything in my calendar. All right. What's your Rusty? What's your Twitter handle? Oh, I see it. Just sent you a DM back. Sorry about that. I guess I never received a notification. What's up, Orlando? All the info for one-on-ones in my Twitter bio. The link in the bio. Yeah, so challenge account restarting tomorrow. Doesn't mean I'm going to take a trade on it tomorrow, right? In the beginning, definitely want to be very patient and wait for a high quality, high probability setup, right? The goal is to grow the account quickly right? If this is a main account that you're trading on, definitely don't suggest following it, right? But this is a challenge account for us. If I lose it, it doesn't matter, right? We're also playing with profits now. The previous $2,000 account went to 17,000. So I'm playing with profits now at this point. So if I lose the 2,000, it doesn't really matter, right? It's all profits from the previous challenge account. So this week, keeping an eye on Tesla, right? 1 bottom, 2 bottom, 3 bottom, and it's for sitting there again, right? Sitting there right at this level, right? We're also creating a wedge, right? Multiple bounces off this low here, right? You can even draw from here if you'd like. Doesn't really need to be too perfect. And then, right, multiple rejections across the board, right? Price actions consolidating. This is a typical reversal pattern, right? Same thing happened here, right? Similar, very similar. You could draw from, you know, wherever you like. That has the most touches. Could do that. Yeah, this probably works best, right? And then we had the lows, double bottom here. All right, nice reversal pattern. Same exact thing, right? Same thing here as well. I love when it fakes down before the move up. It happens all the time. So one thing that everyone needs to watch out for, I always cover this on a one-on-one session, is when we have a double bottom, the next low is always higher. Right, so let's find an example quickly, like right here. Oops. Right, so for example, right, we have a low put in place. We go back up to the next resistance, right? Previous support acts as a new resistance. We come back down, we create a higher low. At this point, I'm looking for calls, right? This is a great spot to enter, right? Because your stop loss is going to be below the low, right? If it gets taken out again, you cut. And then your price target is the previous resistance above, right? With the main resistance here is this level here, right? Targeting that level. That's how that works. Double bottoms are great. Look at here, right? Had a low, right? We wicked down, buyer stepped in right away. Right, nice wick on the 10-minute here. Right, at this point, as soon as I see this next candle here break above, I'm entering calls here with the stop loss below. Right, stop loss here, and price target the next major resistance, right, which is this yellow box here. Right, previous support, acted as a resistance, and then, right, once again, acted as resistance. Right, and then look what happens when it breaks above. Right, we break above, we push, and then we come back down, we retest, right, this old resistance as a new support, and then we continue the climb. Come back down, retest old resistance as a new support, and we continue the climb. Same thing happens over and over again. Market moves like a ladder. So this week, watching Tesla, right, sitting at the lows here, price actions consolidating very nicely. The video, everything looks similar. Gonna need to wait to remake the plan until tomorrow morning. But for now, you guys know what I'm looking at. If you want, ask me questions. I'll answer any questions you guys got. Can I follow your challenge using CFDs or futures? No. That wouldn't work. What questions you guys got? Yeah, any questions about the one-on-one sessions? Go to my Twitter. Link in my bio. All right, just need to play the levels. Just play the levels. If the market does this, you do that, right? Always. SPX doesn't look too good though. Right, we broke this previous support. Right, we dipped below, huge momentum to the downside here. Right, but look where we are testing. Right, we're sitting right at this previous resistance here. Let me change the color of this so we can see it. There we go. Get a little brighter. Right, we're sitting right at this previous resistance. Previous resistance hopefully acts as a new support. If this level breaks, right, what's going to happen? We're just going to move to the next level. Right, in this zone here. Right, market moves like a ladder. Can you go over trading view technical cyclical setup? I don't know what that means, Brad. Cyclical setup? I have no idea what that is. Do you ever swing trade? Sometimes, not really, rarely. Spider trend? No idea what that is. Yeah, quantity of the challenge account trades are posted. And if I take 3 contracts, I'm going to let you know I'm taking 3 contracts. And it's in the EM 2K challenge. All right. I still don't know what that means, Brad. Can you go over your trading view technical setups? Oh, my indicators. BT Cloud, volume, and VPVR. That's it. That's all I use. I really don't even look at them too often. All I really look at and focus on is price action. No, profits, I have no idea what a spider trend is. But SPX does not look good for any upside until we reclaim this wedge. For the falling wedge strat, you give yourself X amount of candles before. No. All right, let me make something clear. All right, let me pull up this thing quickly. Give me 1 second. All right, everyone should be able to see this. Let me make something clear. Use this cheat sheet. All right, post it in the market resources section. The falling wedge. All right, any of these patterns I'm entering as soon as the level breaks. All right, I don't care if it closes above. Right, that I think that whole method's stupid. Right, enter as the level breaks. Right, if this gets taken out here and I see a nice candle push through, I'm taking it. Right, why am I taking it? Because before I enter the trade, I already know where I'm exiting, whether if it's for a loss or for a gain. If I enter here, I'm exiting if it dips below the support, right, which is the low of the flag, right, and I'm taking profits once it reaches the high of the flag, and that's it. It's as simple as that. You don't need to do any fancy indicators, whatever it is. That's all you got to do. Right, this is what planning the trade is. Plan the trade, trade the plan. Right, say it right here. Everyone tries to make trading too complicated. It really only comes down to this, right? 3 points before you enter the trade, stop loss entry in your price target, and sizing correctly. That's it. That's all it is. When you follow these setups here, you're going to be more consistent. You're going to have a higher probability of hitting. And if you size correctly, you'll make money. So let's go over an example. All right, since everyone has questions about it, let's go over an example. Let's find a falling wedge. Let's see if we can find one. Okay. I want to use one that doesn't gap up. Let's go on a smaller time frame. All right, another question. Brad, good question. How do you determine stop loss on contract prices relative to the chart? So I don't set percentage-based stop losses. I'll exit when the chart tells me to, right? If you enter a position based off the chart, you better exit based off the chart, right? If you enter based on the chart and you exit based on a percentage, it makes no sense. Right? Think about that. It makes no sense to exit based on a percentage if you're entering based on the chart, right? So if you're following the chart, playing the setups that I told you to, exit based on the chart, right? Size correctly so you can take a little bit larger of a loss percentage wise, right? Some plays you lose 50%, fine. Enter and exit based off the chart. All right, let's just cover this one. It's not the best falling wedge, but it's the only one I could find right now. Right, it's kind of a falling wedge, kind of not. You'll get the point. Right, so let's chart it out. All right, so for example, this setup right here. Let's say market's open, right? Price action's moving, right? First thing I'm looking at is, right, we have this move to the upside and then a period of consolidation, right? So the first thing I'm noticing right here is this previous resistance right here, right? This is the first thing I'm taking note of, right? We broke above, right? First out, notice how we rejected this double top here, right? Rejected, come back down, and then push through, right? What happens every single time? Right, an old resistance will act as a new support, right? And then when we have this double top, the break above and a falling wedge over it, that's a high probability setup. This is what I want to see every single time right here, right? One resistance, two resistance, three, we break above, we consolidate right over it, right? We create a falling wedge, right? Price action is getting tighter and tighter. Right, the lows, the highs, price action is consolidating. Right, so how do I plan this trade now? Right, I'm looking for an entry. Oops. I am looking for an entry, right, over the high, green box. Make it a little bit brighter. Right, at the break of resistance and the break of the pink trend line. Right, every single time. I set a stop loss below the low. Right, now a lot of people think, now what happens if we don't test the green box? We come back down and we test this and then reverse. It doesn't matter because we wouldn't have entered, right? This setup only works if the green box gets triggered, right? If this green box breaks and we take an entry here, now the stop loss is in place. Right, below the low. And our price target is the highs. Right, so now we have a plan in place. This could be the next price target above. And now we have a plan in place, right? We're ready to take a trade. We don't have to do any thinking once we do. All right, I'm looking to take calls at the break of this box here. All right, so let's click play and see what happens. Actually, before I click play, does everyone understand that? Give me a comment down below if that makes sense, if you have any questions so far going forward. Gonna wait for your comments. Okay, so what time frame am I looking at typically? All time frames, right? If you're day trading, anything really under the 30-minute, right? These patterns work on all the charts, all time frames, right? But if you're on a 15-minute time frame, the wedge is going to be way bigger, right? Like it's going to look something like, obviously this isn't perfect, but just for stream purposes, right? It's bigger, right? Meaning it's going to extend further, right? Or here's another example, right? Here's a bearish wedge. Whoops. Right, this one, typical fake out to the upside before coming down, right? Can't win them all, right? All time frames. But this trade, for example, is an intraday trade, which is going to be on a smaller time frame, right? You constantly have to go back and forth and adjust to see where the setup is presenting itself best on. Right? There's no one best time frame that works. You always have to go back and forth, right? Which is why I have them saved up here, right? If you click the arrow, you can save them. I have them favorited, and I just constantly switch back and forth between these time frames. All right, so let's click play, see what happens. Right here, I'm waiting to take my calls, right? I'm waiting for a break above this level here, or this little high there, right? 41.6302. Right, I'm looking at my Webull account. I have my order on my screen, and I'm getting ready to hit calls or buy. Right. Right. This consolidation period below is exactly what we want. Right. It breaks out over the pink trend line, consolidates below. We're consolidating now. We're creating higher and higher lows. Right here is a great spot for an entry with a stop loss below. There it goes. Perfect. So right here is where I am scaling out of contracts, right? We have a few candles with consolidation, right? Right below a potential resistance, right? This little level here, right? It rejected once, it rejected twice, which is why I would start to scale out before I reach my first target, right? Let's see what happens, because it can potentially come back down and retest, but let's see what happens here. Delete this now. Right now here we have a triple top. Right, another triple top. We have, right, we created a lower low, right? And it ends up pushing through. Right now it's looking for a bounce off old resistance as a new support, and there you have it, right? Price target hit. Right, that's why runners come into place. Right, most people would be stopped out at the consolidation period here and miss the entire move. Right, That's how you do every single trade. Okay. The width of the zones are nothing to be concerned of. It's just a little box I draw around it, right? Nothing really too specific. I do not wait on candle closes. I do not wait on candle closes. Sticking to a handful of tickers is best. Would you agree? It makes it easier to focus on these patterns, someone asked. So as a beginner, maybe, right? The setup's going to look on the same on any chart, right? If the setup's there, it's going to look the same. So technically, it's not going to make it easier, but if it helps you, you know, just not to get sidetracked on different tickers, sure. Right. Also, right, overall trend always comes into play. Right, you always need to keep an eye on overall trend, right? Because a lot of times, if we're in an overall downtrend, right, a pop to the upside will happen, right, the pattern, and then it will sell off and break any support below. This is TradingView. I always use limit orders, and I always set it at the mid price. So, let's see if I could find another setup. Maybe let's actually reverse it. Make it a little bit easier. Why am I reversing it? Because we're in overall downtrend. Simple as that. Nope, I barely use these indicators. Don't rely on indicators, right? Everyone keeps asking what indicators do you use, as if it's going to help them trade better. It's not going to help you trade better if you don't understand price action. Right? Price action and the patterns is the first thing you should be learning. These indicators mean nothing if you don't know what this means. Right, volume and the VPVR, right, which is just volume by price as opposed to volume by time. It's not going to help you if you don't know how to read price action and how the candles move. The Helkin candles, it just helps identify, right? It makes it a little cleaner, right? This is what it looks like, but then you can't see where the gaps are, right? It just helps color it by trend. I don't really like it. Because gaps don't show. Yeah, I always trade puts. Always trade puts. Let's see what we got here. All right, so right here. Oops. Right, here's a different pattern. Now, there's multiple ways to go about these trades. All right, first off, let's use this replay feature, and we could draw it from like here. All right, so this is on the 15-minute time frame. I just look at the chart, Blast. I just look at the chart. Because the premiums are going to follow the chart, right? So there's no reason to be staring at that. All right, so first thing I'm noticing is multiple bounces in this area. What was my biggest trade ever, and was it a day trade or a swing trade? It doesn't matter. It's in the past. Let's focus on the future and how you can get better and educate yourself and become more consistent. All right, my biggest trade is irrelevant. Right, first thing I'm noticing here is multiple bounces off the bottom. Right, huge time support here. Right, we are in an overall downtrend. Right, so favor is in the downtrend, but this is a right. Doesn't matter because we need to play the setup. So first thing I'm doing is charting this out like I have it. Multiple supports, multiple resistances. But take a look here. All right. We have multiple rejections across the board. Right, so you could take an entry here at the lows. Right, enter right here. The stop loss below, right here, right, because we have multiple supports and a price target in this region here or at the high here. Right, multiple rejections, rejected here as well. Right, there's so many different ways to play everything. Right, so you could do that. See what happens. Starts to hold again and then breaks out. Look how price consolidates at resistance, right? I mentioned this level just before. Rejected once, rejected again, right? It acts as a resistance again, right? Previous support now should act as a resistance, or previous resistance should act as a support. So the opposite, right? And then the price targets hit, and there you have it. So that's one way to do it. Next way is to play the breakout. Right. So first things first, right? We have higher and higher lows with multiple rejections across the board. Right here. Right. Now this is the third time or the fourth time we're testing this level. Typically on a fourth retest or fifth retest, it's going to break through. Right, buyers or sellers, whichever direction it's going in, are exhausted and it's going to push through. Right, so you take a break, you take an entry. Whoops, let me do that. F11, there we go. Sorry. We take a break at the high here, take a call or a put, whichever direction, and easy as that. Right, you let it ride. It. That is it. Let's see. Yeah, the smaller the time frame, the more fake outs are going to be. Absolutely. Do I analyze the chart on the 15 or the 5-minute chart? Both. Any of the ones up here is what I use. I use all of them. In those setups, when you're looking at calls over a put or vice versa, based on market strength and direction of the trend. And also flow, right? Always looking at the flow. And this is the flow, right? This will tell me where smart money is positioning. All right, and then I will take a position based off of that. JFS 5 years before we see new all-time high. It doesn't matter. No idea. No one can predict it. So it doesn't even matter. BullTrades app is coming soon, right? Working on it every day. There's a filter tab here on how to filter the flow. Right, I always have out of the money calls and puts on. That's the most important. Right, and then expiration range, I always do weeklies. Right, so for example, it's 10/2. Right, so the 7th is Friday. Right, so I'm gonna do the 8th. Right, so I can see Monday through Friday. And now I'll filter for calls and puts that expire this week only. All right, I'm day trading, so I don't really care if someone takes an expiration next week. That's kind of irrelevant for a day trade, right? I want to see things that expire this week, right? So again, if I'm day trading, I'm going to set the expiration for this week. Yeah, please drop a like on the video. Would appreciate that. Yep, all the patterns work the same in all time frames. Yeah, so flow can indicate a reversal for sure. Right, so just a quick example, right? We have mostly bullish flow coming through, and then all of a sudden we have a sporadic period of bearish flow, right? These are all calls, but they're all bearish, right? So now this can indicate, right? Market movers are selling their calls, right? They're expecting potentially a move to the downside, right? This here can indicate a reversal, right? So when you have a chart that potentially has a bearish setup on it, right? A sign of a reversal, and then you see calls being sold, that just helps your build your case even more. And so that's what I look for. Yep, higher time frames are definitely longer moves for sure. Um, 11:45. On that note, I do have to head out. I have a wedding today, which is why I also wanted to stream early. But I will be on the morning stream tomorrow, 9 p.m. covering what I'll be looking at. Right, so definitely suggest coming to that Monday to Friday, 9 a.m. to 9:30. And I will see you guys tomorrow.